Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are going to look at openings for black. So far we have discussed everything about white. Let's begin with the black side also. Preparing for black is more time consuming. There are so many options for white on move 1. See, white has the move e4. We will start with the move e4. It's very popular. Next we will have to look at the move d4, then knight f3 and then c4. Okay? And preparing black is more time consuming because after every black option, whichever line which we choose, white is going to have many options and we will have to know against each one of them. Okay, so let's get started. We are black and we are playing the move e5. Okay, it's best to start with the move e5, those who are new to the game. Okay, it looks like theory is too much, but we get an open position, so playing e5 is a good option. Okay, white plays nf3. Here white has many options. There are a lot of gambits. King's gambit is one of the main. We will discuss about that also. Black plays nc6. Bishop c4. At every juncture we will see that white has too many choices. Here instead of bc4, white has d4. White has bb5. White has some moves like c3. Okay, so bc4 is most popular. Black plays bc5. So we will be playing the move bc5. Last time we looked at a game where white played c3 d4. We will be preparing against that c3 d4 in our upcoming lessons. In this game, white played d3. Black should play nf6 first, develops the knight, and after knight g5, black will be able to castle and protect the pawn on f7. White went nc3. We are also going to look at games where white plays castle first and plays bg5, which is not a very good way of playing. This nc3 bg5 is a better option. Usually in these e4 e5 positions, these lines of Geico where knight c3 and d3 are played, it's better to wait for castle. You should see what black is doing, white should see that, and same for black, and develop the queenside bishop and then take a call. So black plays d6. White goes for the right move, bg5, and now we know that black loses after castle. When we were doing openings for white, we discussed that. So black's correct move here is, there are very few correct moves. One is h6 and other is the move be6. I like the move be6, it develops a piece, and when knight comes to d5, we can take bishop d5. Today we are going to look at a game where white takes bishop into e6. Okay, this is a very obvious looking move and we are going to look at a small game to understand why bishop e6 is a bad move. White played b6 in the game. Far better is nd5. So after fe6, now what happens? When a beginner sees the position, someone who is new to the game, he has heard somewhere that doubled pawns are bad. Okay, so let me tell you about doubled pawns. See, this pawn, it has come from f7 to e6, means it has come from side to the center. So the capture has happened towards the center. The pawn on e6 controls the d5 and f5 square. So see, now white will never get knight d5. And these doubled pawns are not isolated, means there is a neighboring pawn to it. So what has happened? This structure is not at all bad in itself. Okay, doubled pawns will be bad if they are on the open file or if they are isolated. Okay, these doubled pawns are not bad. The pawn has come towards the center. What else it is giving? After castle, black's most difficult developing piece are the rooks. After castle, black will readily get a rook on the half open file. So this game is all about that. White played the move castle over here, which I think is quite okay. White could have also considered queen d2 and long castle. Perhaps that would have been somewhat better. Black went for castle. Now we see the rook has become active. Already we can say it has become active. One of the benefits of having fe6, I told you, is the control of center. Second one is, now the rook is supporting the knight. So what will happen? In order to remove this pin, black can just move the queen to e8 and the queen will be transferred to the king side. See, now this is a stage where the development is almost complete. Only the rook on a8 is left and the queen has to be improved. So what happens here, when the development is complete, we go for two ideas. Either break pawn break in the center, that is exchange pawns in the center to get equal control of center, or we transfer our pieces to the king side. Now what will happen, because the rook has supported the knight, now the queen is free. So queen can transfer from e8 to g6 or h5 and put attack on the g5. From g6 it can put lot of pressure on the g2 pawn. Okay. So here white thought that he wants to play re1, but re1 might allow knight g4 after some time. Immediately it's not allowing any knight g4 thing, because knight g4 queen is attacked. Okay, maybe he felt that after queen e8 maybe he will have to take it anyway. So he wanted to stop knight g4. Another reason, many beginners feel that if they play the move h3, then the back rank is not weak anymore. Okay, and it stops knight g4 or bg4. So this h3 is really not required here, it's just a bad move. So black plays queen e8. Now the queen is ready to come to g6, and there is some possibility of knight coming to h5. In the game, white played bishop into f6, which is a better option. After re1, black has knight h5. Okay, and after knight h5, there are some serious problems. The queen is coming to g6, and if white tries to trade this bishop, which is becoming very dangerous here, black can use some tactics here. There are 2-3 ways of converting here. One is the bf2 check, king f2, knight d4, queen attacks a4, and if white plays c3, then knight into f3 followed by b5, and the knight would be trapped. And if black wants to play simple, then he can just play knight d4, attacking the knight. So knight into c5 forced, then see knight f3 check. Okay, pawn has to take. Queen cannot take because the rook is controlling, and now here black has queen g6, very strong move. Using the pin, he can also take dc, and after which the white king position has become really bad. It's an open king position. See, very interesting idea. qg6, forcing 96, bishop is supported, and now see black is pawn up, but the king position is totally shattered, pawn structure is shattered, and after the move kh2, black can just double the rooks, rook f7, rook f8, and f3 will be undefended. So this position is almost winning for black. Now we go to the main game. So white played the better move, b into f6 in the game. Now that the pin was gone, it was the right time to take the knight. The knight would have become very dangerous from h5. So rook takes f6. White played re1. I think this move is also a slow one. White is not caring much about what black is doing. Okay, otherwise white should have immediately played something like knight a4 and taken the bishop. Still black is better. Black can go bb6, knight b6, ab6, rook will be active, and qg6, rook f8 is anyway going to give very good position to black. Okay, but rook e1 is really waste of time. Now black immediately plays queen to g6. He is putting up pressure on f3. Knight can't move to h4 because bf2 check and the knight would be lost. And now it is really becoming difficult, and white noted he has to attack this bishop. Otherwise nd4 is also very dangerous. nd4, this knight is the defender. So nd4, nd4, bd4, and f2 will be undefended. Black is also getting the a rook to f8. When there is pin on this g pawn, see rook into f3, pawn cannot capture because of the queen. And if there is a rook on f8, queen will also not be able to take. So white had to play the move knight a4. Okay, but now black sensed that there is no need to defend anymore because black's pieces are already active. Let's see the activity. This queen is more active than this. This f6 rook is more active than this. a8 and a1 look roughly equal, but the a8 will come out instantly. And if we compare this bishop for knight, they are also equal because white can just now take the bishop. And these knights also, we see that this knight is going to jump to d4, whereas this knight is playing a defensive role right now. So most of the black pieces are better than white's. So what is happening? The position is already, we can say, clearly better for black. So black plays the good move, rook f8. He doesn't want to defend anymore. Now the first threat is rook into f3, winning the piece. Knight cannot move. because of bf2 check. Rook cannot support the knight because of bishop into rook. So white went knight c5, rook into f3, and now we can sense that the white position is almost collapsing. Knight is attacked, knight has only few moves, knight can go to d7, but on d7 the knight can get trapped easily by rook f7. So knight takes b7, rook takes f2. Now the rook has penetrated the 7th rank. I told you last time also, rook once on the open file likes the 7th rank. Now white is compelled to play g4. So this is a position where I would like you to find the move for black. I hope you have understood the weakness. The weak squares are g2 and h2. So black plays queen to h6. See, the h3 square was undefended and queen not only attacks h3 but the queen is ready to penetrate via h4 to g3. Okay, and also from f4 to h2. So black has now 3 threats: queen f4, queen h4 and queen h3. This position is almost losing. One thing I must tell you, here instead of g4, if white played qg4, then queen into g4, g4, then rook into c2. The other rook is about to penetrate the 7th rank and it is winning, and if we stop it by rook f1, after exchanges black plays rook b2, trapping this knight on b7. Okay, so that will be winning for black. So qg4 loses on the spot. So after g4, qh6, white plays re2, only way to attack. So queen h3 will allow rook into f2, and after qg3 check, the same rook comes in the way. So black plays the move q f4. Also qh4 was good. Okay, both can almost lead to the same position. Only difference is if we play qh4, there is rook e3 which can stop queen g3. Okay, but still the position is winning. Queen f4 stops re3, threatens queen h2 mate. So compelled to take rook into f2. Queen takes f2. King h1. We see already the queen has entered. Knight is about to join from d4 and the rook is on the open file. So rook on the open file, I told you, likes the 7th rank, or rook likes to go ahead and transfer itself to another place. That is called, the file is used as a jumping off place. So the rook comes to f3, see, jumps off, and now it is going to one of the sides. So threatens rook h3. Now rook h3 is going to be mate. So white either has to play queen f1 and play fully rook down, queen f1, rf1, rf1, kg2, rook is extra, rook will take the pawns and black will win. In the game, white played queen f3 check, king to g1. If king comes to h2, then queen check, king h1, knight d4, then knight f3 and mate on h2. So again black goes knight d4, threatening knight e2 check. So any move would allow, like c3, would allow knight e2 check, king to h2, queen g3 check, kh1 and queen h3 mate. So only way to stop the mate is re1, and now black is not ready for the rook. Black could have played knight e2, rook e2, queen e2 and won the game anyways, but black plays queen g3 check, forcing king f1, king h1 allows nf3 and force mate, okay, on g1 or h2. And now again comes knight f3. Now we see that queen into e1 is going to mate soon. So white has to move the rook. So rook goes to c1. Now see, queen g1 check, ke2 forced, queen g2 check, and now if king d1, then queen d2 mates, only move ke3, and now the king is in a mating net, king has no place to move. So black has the strong move nd4 and it's game over. Next move is queen e2 mate. Only way to stop queen e2 mate is rook e1, to which knight c2 mates is mate. So here white resigns the game. Okay, so this was all about the move bishop into e6. We will be looking at other lines in our upcoming lessons. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.